It's December the 29th, and I want to welcome you to my very first video blog. I want to share a little thought with you on fear, and I want to talk with this one from the perspective of standing in the face of fear. 1 Kings chapter 18 happens to be one of my favorite Bible stories in the Bible. God enlists Elijah to stand and face down many odds in his day, and the apex of this story is when Elijah is called to face the prophets of Baal and Molech, and on Mount Carmel. And of course, we know the story and this dramatic, working of God, where the fiery balls start coming down to earth, and they burn everything. But can you imagine what must have been going through Elijah's mind at this point? I believe that he was a bit scared, to be honest with you. But that fear didn't overtake him. And if you think about it, what kind of God calls on you to stand against 800 people? Well, the truth is, it's our God. He was called by God into this tumultuous situation and it required Elijah to completely hand everything over to God. I'm finding more and more in my own life that I need to be willing to go into those scary places and allow God to be himself. After all, I do believe that he's sovereign and that he's the sustainer of all things. The problem is, I don't like to be afraid. I like to feel safe. I enjoy feeling settled. Do you? And we're not called to be safe, and we're not called to feel settled. What we are called to do is stand, to some extent anyway, to stand against the evils of our world. That's part of our quest. We must meet these challenges of our quest, recognizing that it's scary and hard, but also recognizing that God is in control and he is the sustainer of all things, which means that he stands with us. So in those moments when you're afraid, in those moments when you feel as though God is calling you to stand up for something, remember Elijah. He was called to stand up against 800 prophets of Baal and Molech. And very certainly, they wanted him dead. We're not called to that necessarily here in North America. But if God is able to be with Elijah against all those odds, don't you think he's also able to be with you? Just a thought.